All right, aloha team, shifters, dreamers, multidimensional friends within this holographic matrix. This is Brendan. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're about to watch another live team tarot reading that we are doing on behalf of the Paradigm Shift Central Project, a real-world interactive game to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this. We're broadcasting this live on Facebook, then uploading it to YouTube, wherever you are, whenever you are. Please feel free to keep leaving those comments, drop your engagement, and we'll get right into this as we just create a little bit of space for people to be able to join in the moment. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, what we're doing, we're using the tarot deck to be able to check in with the universe, to be able to receive almost like an energetic forecast for the week, some additional guidance and inspiration that will be able to help assist us on our path towards further inspiration, towards further cultivation, towards being able to just like see maybe those extra edges of ideas that are going to help give us that additional perspective on how to be able to move through the week and our lives with more grace and just optimizing our abilities while leveling up within the game. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. We'll again, I'm just gonna start charging the deck as I have been doing. And for those of you who aren't familiar, when we're doing tarot, this isn't so much like, hey, this is like a fortune telling or whatever. This is a mirror for us to be able to see parts of ourselves. So if you're looking for more of these, please go back, check out other recordings online through my YouTube channel at Skull Babylon. And of course, reminding you guys that you can always do one-on-one personal sessions with me, which we do as one-on-one tarot reading and intuitive reflection sessions. They are a lot like personal coaching and really powerful, and I've gotten some great feedback, and I really enjoy being able to connect with you guys on that one-to-one level. So let's get right into this. So if you guys are ready to join me, then please feel free to add your intention. And the intention that we use when we do these tarot readings is the basic intention of just show us what we need to see. So keeping it very simple in that sense. And again, as we're doing this, we're pulling the card for the entire team. So checking in, breathing into our heart space. I'm always excited to be able to do these. It's like, ooh, what's the message going to be today? So let's find out together. So just join me in connecting with your heart space. And I'll just kind of float my fingers above the deck. And we will dial into our intention. And intention's a very important part of this. So, oh great universe, woo, show us what we need to see. Woo. Bloop. All right. So today's magical card is Flames 4. So another Flames one, and for those of you who have been tuned into the past, you guys know that we actually did have some Flames in the last couple weeks. The Ace of Flames, which was some really powerful ones. So let's go a little bit deeper and read a little bit more about what this card has to offer. So I'm going to be holding it up here. You guys can just kind of look at the image and just be open to receiving this. I'm not going to spend like an hour on this reading, just because I have another reading that I want to be able to get to after this as well. So just honoring that, we'll kind of go through this in an effective and efficient way. And as you're listening, just be either just paying attention to the card or just kind of close your eyes and be receptive to the words coming through in this moment. So here we go. Four of Flames. Oh, and share this broadcast as you're watching. Thanks. Four of Flames. The image. Surrounded by a hazy shimmer, a light source shines in all four directions above the warming distance of a peaceful landscape. Meaning, the individual energetic power is what brings him in. The individual's energetic power is what brings him into contact with his fellow beings. The powers to renew, to enliven, and to create impulse give witness to clear goal setting. So I'm going to reread that part. The powers to renew, to enliven, and to create impulses give witness to clear goal setting. Connecting with the dissimilar sets the conditions for creating new life as well as keeping current life processes in check. Sharing the, and I'm going to reread that, that's really important. Connecting with the dissimilar sets the conditions for creating new life as well as keeping current life processes in check. Sharing the joy of existence with fellow beings gives the individual his particular personal charm. He who recognizes the beauty in things brings beauty to life in himself as well as in others. Whether it is on the level of personal relationships or collective events, the purpose of love is to be awakened and to grow, and not to be used for selfish reasons. Attachments results in standstill. Love renews. Curiosity and lust for life keep the inner self young and awaken vital energies. The interest in fellow humans builds the foundation for coming together as a community and affects a stable basis for future undertakings. Through mutual support, one's power is made more potent with community. The central thought of the Four of Flames is the maintenance of the inner light through the connection of each person to the whole through love. I'm going to reread that part. The central thought of the Four of Flames is the maintenance of the inner light through the connection of each person to the whole through love. Home is where your heart is. Astrological significance: Venus, Mars, Mercury, square aspects. Keywords: union of opposites, eroticism, communication, creativity, renewal, grace, spontaneity, joy, radiance. Traditional meaning: instinctiveness, carnality, contact high, cheerfulness, sensuality, zest for life. So again, this is a really cool card to be able to receive, and one that I feel is very relevant to what it is that we are creating as a community, even literally just through this broadcast that we are doing here right now. You know, a lot of what I feel is relevant within this card is reminding us that, you know, it is through those connections that we share with others where we really, really, really learn a lot about ourselves. We allow ourselves to be able to see who we are when we show up. And it's interesting because oftentimes when we're in community, we will have a tendency to surprise ourselves. We will have a tendency to kind of like instinctively show up in a way that feels natural, and yet after the situation we'll kind of look back and we'll be like, whoa, like that was really cool to be able to like see myself kind of like maybe acting spontaneous, or maybe like stepping into a role of leadership, or maybe kind of like, you know, being very attentive to one's words that they may be saying and holding space in a very comfortable way. And so I think, you know, with this card, a lot of it is, again, it says the interest in fellow human beings builds the foundation for coming together as community and affects a stable basis for future undertakings. Community is a big element of what this card is about. And so related specifically to the Paradigm Shift Central project, you know, one of the things that I'm always encouraging you guys to do is being able to create the physical paradigm shift communities. And again, those are about creating regular open-minded discussion and meditation meetups. And why these are so important is because when we are in the community, when we are in that space, we allow ourselves to be able to accelerate each other's growth through the process of reflecting as mirrors, through the process of understanding that, you know, the lessons that we may be going through in one moment may not actually be completely unique to ourselves. Oftentimes there's kind of like this overall wave that kind of moves through a collective at a time. And so there may be lessons that we are going through that have some relevance to what others are going through as well. And when we're able to talk about them, when we're able to hold that space, when we're able to be open about them, oftentimes it can allow us to be able to, again, assist each other and bring about clarity, to bring about renewal, to bring about constant, you know, appreciation and gratitude, and while continuing to move forward towards our purpose of love. So whether it is on the level of personal relationships or collective events, the purpose of love is to be awakened and to grow, and not to be used for selfish reasons. Attachments result in standstill. So even in this concept, it's like really checking in with ourselves and like, how are we using our love? Like, are we, and it's great to be able to focus in on ourselves. That's a very, very important part of our journey. Yet it equally is an important part to make sure that we are kind of extending our branches, that we are reaching out to other people, that we are checking in with other people. And in doing so, again, like that also kind of like, it develops a sense of purpose for ourselves. And so in the theme with community, one thing that I always talk about as like a big concept within like the Paradigm Shift Central project is really being able to find purpose through service for others. And again, like when we do that, we see how we show up. There's a leader inside all of us, and sometimes we just need to put ourselves in a situation where that leadership has the chance and the opportunity to exemplify itself. And so if we're looking for those opportunities where we can share our love, and again, like this can be an opportunity where it might just be with like a friend, it might be with a family member, it might be with a sibling, it could be just, again, with a complete stranger as well. But really checking in with ourselves and being able to see, like, like what are the personal relationships that we have within our day-to-day life? And are there other types of personal relationships that we want to be able to introduce? How can we build this? How can we be able to not only build community, but also be able to build the relationship through ourselves by understanding how it is that we show up when we are in community? So again, curiosity and lust for life keep the inner self young and awaken vital energies. So this is really about kind of like putting ourselves in a bit of that place where it may be unfamiliar to us. Yet when we do that, it does kind of like keep us alive. It keeps our spark going. It keeps our edges sharp. So it's important to be able to like put ourselves in situations that may be a little bit new, that may be a little bit sometimes intimidating. But if we're doing it with the intention of being able to not only understand how our love can hold its space within that unknown environment, but again, just being able to observe and acknowledge like how it's going to be able to have an impact on others. And this is something that over time can take practice. A lot of times developing social skills is something that becomes more familiar the more we do it. So if you're looking to be able to develop that ability where you're talking to people, you want to be a better public speaker, what other way to do it than by practicing? What other way to do it than by public speaking, right? So again, it goes even back to like what we were saying before. It's like you can't steer a parked car. This is something we talked about in last week's meditation, or 2 weeks ago, the reading that we did then. And so again, it is about being able to, how do we foster creativity? And oftentimes we foster creativity by putting ourselves outside of our comfort zone, by putting ourselves also in the circle of others who may be exemplifying their own creativity as well. And then through this, this is where it sparks like the renewal. This is where it sparks the spontaneity. This is where it sparks the joy. And so again, like the traditional meanings in this, like contact high, cheerfulness, zest for life, we have to remember that when we are with other people, like their joy can become our joy, their excitement can become our excitement can become their excitement. And it kind of becomes like when you're in a circle with other people, you kind of become like one like organism in a sense. And so it's really important for us to be able to check in and to be able to even realize, right now, what organism are we in? Who are we hanging around with, and how are we actually becoming more like them simply by being around them? So this is also there's kind of like two sides to this, and also being aware of, if you're in a place where you're with like certain people and you feel that it's like, it's not fully supporting your best growth, then it's also important to be able to, check in with the options that you have to be able to remove yourself from that circle through free will, right? So like if you're around people who are constantly like complaining about reality and complaining about things, then you're probably going to start complaining about things too. But if you're around people who are like uplifting and who are working and who are creating art and who are helping other people and who are being altruistic, then that's going to become a part of what you are. So really be aware of like what organism are you a part of? What community are you a part of? Because that becomes who you are in that sense. And so again, that's where, just like tying this back in as we wrap this up, like with the Paradigm Shift Central project, like being able to create the portals for community to be able to come together, the portals being these meetings, it's incredibly rewarding. And it really is an opportunity for synchronicity to be able to show up in these moments. So for those of you out there who may be thinking like, maybe I don't have a lot of community members who I really resonate with, this is an opportunity and a call to action for you to know that you can go out there and you can create space. You can go out there and you can find the others. You can go out there and you can organize these regular open-minded discussion meditation meetings, which we do through the Paradigm Shift communities, and others will be able to gather around you. And you may not even know entirely what to be able to expect, but that in itself, the spontaneity of it kind of like keeps you young, keeps you fresh, keeps you engaged in that sense. But the communication that we develop through community allows us to develop better communication, and it allows us to tap into more creativity. And again, like, this is really important, just to constantly be able to check in with ourselves and what are the ways that we are fueling our vital energies. And obviously it's important to have alone time, but it's also really important to be able to have those social interactions, those meaningful social interactions. And I'll just end it on this part, because again, I think when we see, like, again, when we see this mandala, right, like through the symbol here, you can see the kind of like the four directions, and right in the middle is this light. So it's like kind of like, you know, we're coming from all different sides, and yet we're meeting in the middle, and we're in the middle, we're reminding ourselves that yes, we are one. We have come from different paths, yet we meet in the middle, and we're able to see each other with that love, with that heart space, to be able to remind ourselves that, like, as different as we all are one. And so there's something in particular I was gonna, what else was I gonna say? Oh no, I forget. I got on the idea of the mandala there for a second. But yeah, again, you know, just really reminding you that, yeah, like, it's okay to be able to sometimes be in hermit mode. It's okay to be able to work on ourselves. This is what I was going to say. But we have to remind ourselves that as much as the body, as much as our physical body, as much as it needs food, as much as it needs sunlight, as much as it needs sleep, it also needs community. It needs meaningful social interaction. And again, you can go for long periods of time, like being alone and everything like that. But in order to kind of like reach new states of our being, we have to kind of put ourselves into that circle of mirrors so that we can see the parts of ourselves that we can't simply see by ourselves. Like, that's an interesting idea, that there's certain parts of ourselves that we simply cannot see unless it's being reflected through someone else, unless it's us seeing ourselves and how we show up in these situations. So that's a Four Flames for you. And again, the inspiration behind this message is reminding you that community is so important, encouraging you to go out there. But again, this can be connecting on many levels. This can be connecting with strangers, sparking conversations with friends, getting into those like deep thought process that will really continue to inspire you, and checking in with yourself. Who are the people that you are surrounding yourself with? Are they supporting your best growth? Can you change that? And if you don't have that desirable community, what can you do to create it? So again, you have the power to create it. You can go out there, you can organize events, you can create these invitations, you can do free hugs, you can find the others, and you can build the tribe. So knowing that you're probably looking for other people to connect with means that there are other people out there looking to connect with you. So synchronistically, know that you are already connected to them, and before you have even met. And that's a powerful idea. So, and in doing that, you are helping accelerate the entire shift. So that's a very awesome card to be able to receive. So again, as community, I really honor the fact of what it is that we're creating through this digital space. And this is a very important thing too. Again, you know, just being here digitally, that's a really powerful thing. And the other thing I'll just mention real quick is that, like, as community, it's very powerful as a leader within the community and as a collective leadership within the community to be able to focus our intention towards specific goals. That is a very powerful idea. Not just when you have like a group of people in one spot, but when you have a group of people in one spot with a shared intention, because then that organism becomes a super organism, and that intention becomes like a super intention. And so that's like a super powerful idea, right? Like, what happens when a bunch of people are working towards common goals? So that's what we're doing through the Paradigm Shift Central project. Collectively as a team, we are working towards the common goals of helping other people, of developing ourselves, of creating art, and accelerating the shift in that way. So in the same way I can step into the leadership and help guide us as a team, help direct our focus, you can do that as well through UR. That element, that archetype of the leader is within every single one of us. So ending, it's 11:11 at the time I'm recording this, so that's a good time to bring this into a close. So again, Four of Flames, awesome card. Community is totally a very important part of our journey. So honoring that one. Awesome. So thank you to all the community out there. So we'll just breathe into our heart space and just end with a very short closing meditation. So I just invite you to just join me in this moment as we just kind of embody what it was that we just received through this card. So just connect with your breath right now. Gentle inhales and gentle exhales. And like the forests, we are filled with many trees, each of us ripe with fruits and seeds, bringing forth the gift as our branches reach for the sky. We allow ourselves to spread our magic far and wide, for with our roots connected deep under the earth, we are stronger than we have ever been as we accelerate this rebirth. For together we have enough to feed everyone with the inspiration and abundance of this infinite love. Awesome. Sweet. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this broadcast. Please feel free to share this with your friends. Let people know that Paradigm Shift exists, that this is a community that they can be a part of. And again, subscribe to my YouTube at Skull Babylon. You can support on Patreon with the monthly micro donations. We are currently at about 117 active donators right now, working towards our milestone of 125. So again, if you enjoy what it is that we're creating here, providing this content for free for the community, help us support in doing that by adding your monthly micro donation and get your Shifter Booster Kit, which comes with your Light Guardian Crystal and your shift buttons to be able to help you build community. Again, this is what this game is all about through Paradigm Shift. It's about building community. So really honoring you guys. And again, you can also donate single donations at paypal.com, paypal.me/Brendan Colton. And if you want to do single readings with me, if you're looking for inspiration, guidance, clarity, and just want to maybe even talk, send me a message and we can set up a single one-on-one reading. And those are available as a pay what you wish contribution between $5 and $40. So please feel free to just send me a message through either Facebook, Instagram, or whatever platform. Even just on YouTube also works as well. And again, tune in for future broadcasts that we got. We got a regular Paradigm Shift Central roundtable, team roundtable on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our global meditations at Sundays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's lots more already online. So jump into our Discord server at tinyurl.com/Paradigm Shift Chat. Join us there. And yeah, continue to ripple this inspiration with you forward. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep it shifty, and I will see you guys in the future. Much love. Have an awesome day. You're doing great. Love you.